Hello, we're Lantern Valley Studios. Today is the 15th of September, and this is the update video. We do one of these update videos on the 15th of every month, and it just basically is a mid-month summary or...
Usually of what we've been doing.
Yeah.
But what we've been doing is not necessarily a break, but he was gone like the whole time.
This month was a bit different in
Yeah.
the sense that our schedule has been broken up. I went to Lightbox Expo in California, so I was away for a whole week, and I got to meet a bunch of artists and professionals who work in the industry and different games and movies and all that kind of stuff. And it was the first big convention I ever went to, and the first time ever bringing Lantern Valley Studios with me.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Our content in a printable format that you can actually look at and show people. Yeah. Meanwhile, I just stayed home and organized everything and got cleaned up and kind of got schedules ready to go. So we didn't really do any of the actual project itself, a lot of organizing things, so that we, in the last update video, we were talking about how we're trying to get things to the state where when we get into that state, the products will inevitably be done if we just continue at that rate. So really we're just organizing and scheduling so that we can get to that point. So that when we do start working only on the project and absolutely nothing else, we don't have to schedule anything else. It's just project, that it's really effective. So I was doing that while he was away, checking out things and showing people LV for the first time and stuff like that. So yeah, different month.
Yeah. One of the things I got from being at Lightbox was something we have talked about in the last couple of days. That's essentially, it's just up to us to make this project. There's a lot of layers to that, but one of them is someone's got to see the whole thing to really get a sense of what we're doing. And right now we're just doing the behind the scenes as we make the thing, so we don't have any, we're quite a ways before we're actually going to have something concrete that's like, oh, that's what you've been doing this whole time, and it'll make sense to artists who are more visual and they just want to see cool images, and then it'll make sense to the people who will spend time to read it and go through it.
Yeah, and the people who like stories or something like that, like the one of the comments that he got to some people in Lightbox was just how it's like our story is very different, and then of course the answer to anybody who says that is like, yeah, everybody says that because of course everybody's going to say it to some degree and everything is different, but what we're doing is so unique to and not different in like a story sense. Like it's still a story, you're still following characters and all this, but it's not told in a normal way. Like a lot of the elements that usually make up a story are absent from what we're trying to convey. Like it's almost like if you, instead of something like saving the world, it's people trying to discover why their world the way it is at that time. And in doing so, if it was a normal story, they'd find something that they have to stop, or like some magical thing that's like, is going to cause certain things to happen and they have to go deal with that or whatever it is. And ours is more just about discovery and like understanding, and not some fantastical way, but just this really real grounded thing. It's just life as a story is different than storytelling as a story.
Yeah, so it's interesting to convey that. What I realized at a convention is we brought that portfolio thing we made, which you can see through our behind the scenes packages. And it was just too much writing for someone to read on the spot. Like there was a few people who got to read it and stuff, though it's just so quick where everything's so busy, everyone's going around, all these things to see, and you just maybe have 30 seconds to really like flip through it and describe it and say like, oh, this is what we're doing, and this is this, and these are the characters and stuff, but they're not going to read all the description and everything. And so so it's kind of just clarified how we need to present our story in all kinds of ways.
Which has a lot of layers to it too, because if you present a story one way and there's something like a certain character, upon seeing that character, you might refer it to stories that do exist, or just the conventional way that stories are, when it's not at all like that. But to go into it, then you have to elaborate and go like things. Oh, okay, I can drop those frames of reference. But you can't do that when you're just flipping through.
If you just see it on the surface level right away, you'll be like, oh, he must be like this or something. But it's like, no, not really. It just seems like that at first glance. So another thing we are starting up right away is on Monday, we're going to begin to go through together a little summary recap of the 30 different worlds we have, and more specifically the worlds for Treasure Tales, which we're beginning Treasure Tale making more systematically starting in January. So this is like a 15-week, do 3 stories, or like review 3 worlds every week, and then have some leeway time before January, where then we're going to focus on 1 world for 2 months.
So it's part of getting to that point where we can just work on the project continuously, but to do that we have to be on the same page with all these different parts of the story, which are like these little worlds. So every week we're going to try and catch up so we're both on the same page with it, or we both have all the information needed and even create a lot of the story as we're doing it, to be like, okay, this is what we're working with, on to the next one, over and over again until we've gone through it all and then we're ready. Because if we just tried to jump into the story making right now, or before we actually review everything, then we'll the first like
Just
couple days are have to be like review and catch up.
Review and figuring it out.
So we're gonna do that now so we can elaborate on it and really go into it and really memorize it for ourselves. Like we need to know these things inside out.
And that was part of pitching it to several people. It's like they'd be like, "Oh, what? How old is she? And like, what's her deal? And who's this guy? And is there someone who like wants this or something?" And it's like, "Well, you lost me on that part." And like, what? So it was like, all right, I gotta be able to know this story so well that I can answer any question and do it in a very simple way, like a 5-year-old would understand what I'm saying.
Kind of goes back to us being the ones, like it's all on us. Is like if we don't know that, then or like know even how to talk about it, and like this really specific question that we haven't thought about, like what is some person's age? And it's like I don't know, like a teenager or old person or something, and like you know we do kind of need to know that, and it might never take place in or like have any effect on the story itself, but in a conversation that might come up, and it's like we're the ones that anybody's going to have to go to. We're the only 2 that are going to know anything even close to an answer.
And for some reason that might be something that someone's really like into. She's got to be 14 plus so that or else she can't be a main character or something. Like what these kind of producer guys think
like,
about.
How old is he? Well, she's part robot. The
like,
machines are new.
The age group you're going for is going to be this, so she's got to be at least a couple of years older. It's like that's not even going to come up in the story at all, like ever. But okay.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the nitty gritty.
It's interesting.
So yeah, that's reviewing everything, scheduling, and on to the next phase. Kind of right now we're in like resettle and re-catch up. So
I just got back 2 days ago or something. So. As of now, when you're watching this,
a few days,
2 more. If you're watching this on the day it's uploaded, so that's that. What else to say? Get back in the groove of drawing practice, painting, reading the stories again, just over and just memorizing them and going into them. We also had this idea of dividing up our like personalities of what we do,
the different hats we have to wear. Basically.
Yeah, we have to wear so many hats. Like we don't have director, producer,
concept artist, refining artist.
Us 2 have to do all those things. So it's like at one moment, come up with an idea and then put the hat on. It's like, well, no, it's not good enough, or it doesn't fit the story or whatever. And then it's like, oh, it's ready to be checked off in this list and go to this guy, and then he's going to publish it, and that's like
it's just
4
us.
hats there.
Us back and forth sometimes.
So using some little characters we came up with for something else that you'll see eventually, and being like, he's this guy, and it's like
us making
what
this story,
does that guy do, and understanding that just the framework of that area of work.
Us making the story is very much a story, so we're basically storyfying, like throwing all these like personalities, fun characters, and having fun and turning a game and story out of us and what we have to do, since that's what we're doing.
So
Yeah, more to come.
we'll see you on Mondays for YouTube videos where we talk about storytelling, mastery, and art, and basically discuss our insights into things that you can refer to that actually exist and are finished products already, and packages coming up on the 1st of the month behind the scenes. See you there.